Already in this second chapter we have completed 3 examples. Now let me go to the fourth one. If the highest common factor of 210 and 55 is expressible in the form of 55x minus 325, we have to find x. So in solution, using Euclid's division algorithm, let us find the HCF of given numbers. You know that a equal to bq plus r. That is Euclid's division lemma. So let me take a as 210 and b as 55. We'll take a, in this 210 is bigger, so 210 should be taken as a and the smaller one should be taken as b. So we'll substitute the values of a and b in this formula, that is 210 equal to 55 into 3 plus 45, that is we'll take this value here, then we'll take this 45 too, that is 55 equal to 45 into 1 plus 10, then we'll take 45 here, then 10 here. So 45 equal to 10 into 4 plus 5. Then we'll take this 10 here and 5 here. Then 10 equal to 5 into 2 plus 0. So we have got the value. Our value is 5. So the remainder is 0. So the last divisor. So here this is the divisor, that is b, is pi, the highest common factor, HCF of 210 and 55. So since HCF is expressible in the form 55x minus 325, then we'll equate it to 5. We have already find the HCF as 5. Then we'll equate it to this. Then we'll get 55x equal to 5 plus, we'll take this minus 325 this side, it will become plus 325. 55x equal to 330, then x equal to 330 by 55, that is equal to, when we cancel it, we'll get 6. So hence x equal to 6. Then let me go to the fifth one. Find the greatest number that will divide 445 and 572, leaving reminders 4 and 5 respectively. So in solution we'll see, since the reminders are 4, 5, we'll respectively, the required number is the HCF of number of 445 minus 4, that is equal to 441, and 572 minus 5, that is equal to 567. We should first subtract the numbers which is given as reminders in the whole values. Hence, we will determine the HCF of 441 and 567 using Euclid's division algorithm. Then we will have 567. I already told you that we'll take the greater number as a and smaller number as b. Then that is a equal to bq plus r. We'll take a value 567 and b value 441. So 567 equal to 441 into 1 plus 126. Then we'll take this 441 here, then 126 here. So we'll get 441 equal to 126 into 3 plus 63. Then we'll take this 126 here, then 63 here. Then we'll get 126 equal to 63 into 2 plus 0. We have got till 0, you should factorize this. So when it becomes 0, then the divisor will be the HCF. So we have got the HCF as 63. Therefore, HCF of 441 and 567 equal to 63. And so the required number is 63. Now let us move to the sixth example. Find the HCF of 396 and 504 and 636. In solution, to find HCF of 3 given numbers, first we have to find HCF of the first 2 numbers. Not first 2, but we'll take the smallest one and the middle value in these 3. So this is 396 is smallest and the middle value is 504. Then first we should find HCF of these 2 things. So we'll take a as 504 and b as 396. In this 2, 504 is bigger, so we are taking it as a. So using Euclid's division algorithm, we get 504 equal to 396 into 1 plus 108. So you see that here the remainder is not becoming 0. So we'll factorize it another time using the same formula, that is 396. Then we'll take 108. So 396 equal to 108 into 3 plus 72. Again r is not equal to 0. Then we will use the same technique. Then we'll take 108 and 72. So 108 equal to 72 into 1 plus 36. Again r equal to not 0 and we are using the same formula. We'll get 72, then we'll take 36. So 72 equal to 36 into 2 plus 0. we have got 0 here. Then the divisor, that is A, B, Q, sorry, this is Q and this is R. So we'll take the B value as HCF, that is 36R is our HCF. Here the remainder is 0 and HCF of 396 and 504 equal to 36, and to find the HCF of 636 and 36. Using Euclid's division algorithm, we get 636 equal to 36 into 17 plus 24. The remainder is not equal to 0, it is 24. Then we will do it again. That is 36 equal to 24 into 1 plus 12. Again it is not 0. Now we'll do it again. That is 24 equal to 12 into 2 plus 0. We have got 0 here. Then our B, that is 12, will be our HCF. So we have got 12 as the HCF. So highest common factor of 396, 504 and 636 is 12. So now we are going to exercise 2.1. So in the first one, find all positive integers which when divides by 3 leaves remainder 2. So the positive integers when divided by 3 leaves remainder 2. By Euclid's division lemma, we get A equal to BQ plus R. That is, R will be greater than or equal to 0 and strictly less than B. Here A equal to 3Q plus 2. That is 3. We will take the divisor as 3 and remainder as 2, which is given in the question. Then where Q is greater than or equal to 0 and it is strictly less than 3, it leaves remainder 2 when divided by 3. So therefore we'll put 1 by 1 the whole numbers here in the place of Q. First you see 3 into, we'll substitute 0 plus 2, that is equal to 2. Then we'll put 1 in the place of Q, that is 3 into 1 plus 2, that is equal to 5. Then we'll put 2. 3 into 2 plus 2, that is equal to 7. Sorry, it is 8. So you can see that we are putting 1 by 1 the whole number values in the place of Q. Then we will get the values which is asked in the question. So that is, we'll write it as therefore 2, 5, 8, 11, till infinity. So we are going to the second one. A man has 532 flower pots. He wants to arrange them in rows such that each row contains 21 flower pots. We have to find the number of completed rows and how many flower pots are left over. So in solution, using Euclid's division algorithm, A equal to 21Q plus R. So we are given in the question that 21 flowers should be kept in each row. So 21 will be the divisor of the whole thing. That is A equal to 21Q plus R. Then we get 532 equal to 21 into 25 plus 7. So we have got the remainder as 7. So number of completed rows equal to 25 and left over flower pots equal to 7. So we are going to the third one. Prove that the product of two consecutive positive integers is divisible by 2. So in solution, let n minus 1 and n be two consecutive positive integers. So we can take any integer, but here I am taking it as n minus 1 and n. It should be consecutive. Okay, you should not forget that. Then their product is n minus 1 into n. That is, we'll multiply n inside, so we'll get n square minus n. So we know that any positive integer is of the form 2q or 2q plus 1 for integers q. So the following cases arise. 2q or 2q plus 1, 2q is always an even number and 2q plus 1 is a odd number. So in our case 1, we will take it when n equal to 2q. We will substitute these two value 1 by 1. That is, first I am substituting 2q. So in this case we have n square minus n. We will put the value of 2q in the place of n in this equation. That is 2q the whole square minus 2q. That is 4q square minus 2q. We will take it as 2q into 2q minus 1. We will take 2q common outside. Then n square minus n equal to 2r. We will take this as 2q into 2q plus 1. We will take this whole thing as r. That is 2 into r. So here, so it will be an even number. when r equal to q into 2q minus 1. Then n square minus n is divisible by 2. So in case 2, when n equal to 2q plus 1, in this case we have n square minus n equal to, we'll put the value of 2q plus 1 in the place of n in this equation. So we'll get 2q plus 1 whole square minus 2q plus 1. So that is, so here it is given in short, let me show in detail. So we are given 2q plus 1 whole square, so I am putting it 2 times, 2q plus 1 into 2q plus 1 minus 2q minus 1. Then I will multiply this 2, I will get 4q square plus 2q plus 2q plus 1 minus 2q minus 1. Then we will cancel plus 2q and minus 2q plus 1 and minus 1. Then we will get 4q square plus 2q. When I take 2q common outside, I will get 2q into 2q plus 1. So n square minus n equal to 2r, where r equal to q into 2q plus 1. That is, n square minus n is divisible by 2. Hence, n square minus n is divisible by 2 for every positive integer n. Hence, it is proved.